you know that it's not required to have a child seat for baby Sasquatches? Well, the Levick mill is still here, but so is a very modern private property. Let's build it right up against the old mill, because that'll make photos look fantastic. Well, speaking of photos, let's get a few of this old mill. Today on This Old Mill, we'll be talking about how to build a house right behind it. I think it's private property. I'm not too sure. It's also Grand Central Station, as there have been cars coming continuously down this road. There is, however, I believe what's called 4 Mile Creek right here. Now we do have something kind of cool over here. Something that's not part of the modern world. We have whatever this is. And here, for just a moment, because of this rushing water, we have a quiet place. So if Levick had a post office for 3 years, does any of it remain? Was that the post office we were looking at with the creek in it? Are there more remains around here? I don't know, but I think I know somebody that can help. Let's see if it's legal to pull out Simone the Sassy Drone. We first found Levick, Colorado by accident some years ago, and the mining artifacts are a little worse every time we visit. The road leads to Mount Sherman, a frequented hiking spot to climb the 14er. Soon, I suspect, the Hilltop Mill will be just a pile of wood blocking the road, and at that point it will be removed, leaving the house and the assay office in its place. There's some shiny multi-story building right behind the mill. Don't know what it is. Probably somebody's house. However, let's not forget the sweat that was shed by hard-working men at this location. Levick is between Fairplay, Colorado and Leadville on 4 Mile Creek Road. There are some mining remnants in the creek itself, as well as the remains of the Hilltop and Last Chance mines in the area. I recommend a vehicle with some off-road ability to see these, though, as the roads are rocky. Levick was a mining community started in 1873. In 1888, it produced more than $600,000 in silver ore. It was eventually named after the man who brought in a spur of the railroad to serve the mines, Felix Levick. Felix and his business partner, Brad Dubois, bought the Hilltop mine in 1896. They established a post office by 1896, but it and the productivity of the mines only lasted 3 years. In 1897, they built the aerial tramway that ran from the mill 13,000 feet up to the Hilltop mine. You can still see some of its supports. It supported 125 ore buckets, each capable of holding 400 pounds of ore. It is likely to have been the longest aerial tramway in Colorado. So the mines brought the ore down to the mill on an aerial tramway, where it was crushed and then loaded onto up to 20 train cars to take the ore away for refining, most likely to Fairplay. Silver mining was a high risk, though, because the U.S. and Europe had begun switching to the gold standard in 1871. The Coinage Act of 1873 took away silver as a legal tender, but it was reversed 5 years later. In 1893, the value of silver was so low it wasn't worth the cost to mine it unless your name was Felix Levick, and he knew how to mine silver efficiently. However, the value sank even lower still, and the mine output was at its lowest, and by 1899 the business was done and the post office closed as miners went elsewhere. Such is the miner's way. Two of the best remaining buildings have been moved to the South Park City Museum. So give a little nod of respect to Levick as you pass through it to go hike Mount Sherman.
I'm not a historian. History was something I was only mildly interested in school. Darn it, Jim, I'm a photographer, not a historian. Anyway, I'm sure you folks out there know something about Levick and can fill us in the comments. But I do have a question though. Let's go over here. This looks stout enough to have carried a railroad at one point in time. I don't trust it yet. Here's my question. See the mountain in the background? Was the side of that mountain destroyed by mining? Or from a natural catastrophe? Did that used to be a volcano? Is that a crater? Let's walk across these boards that are over 100 years old. So maybe I can't show you a whole lot of ruins, but I still found you a quiet place for the moment. So one thing I didn't mention is that Levick is at 11,294 feet, has a population of 7 people. So here at 11,294 feet, we are at 54 degrees in July. So I know it's not a quiet place, but I have to share this. My wife and I, we run into in our travels many gas stations with broken windows just left to the side of the road to rot. And this is the perfect idea. This is the 24 Cafe station. 24 Station Cafe. The bathrooms are still on the back side of the building. Well, side of the building anyway. And we just ate here, and it was wonderful. I had a chicken salad sandwich. I have coffee, non-coffee, breakfast bites, tasty sandwiches, fresh salads.
Thank you.
Ice cream. And we just got done sitting right here. What's your name?
Rosie.
Rosie?
Yeah.
And you don't mind being on Quiet Places with Marshall?
I don't.
On YouTube? Awesome. Thank you. This is an awesome place. This is an awesome idea to do to a service station. Look, the lift is still here. The car lift is in the table, the countertop. How awesome is that? The oil changing pit still exists. There it is, right there. And we got to eat with all the doors open. And it's nice. And you can buy art. And I tell you what, I'm gonna buy one of those 24 Cafe coffee coolers up there. And thanks for making my sandwich today.
Absolutely, you're welcome.